It's time now for your weekly fishing reports and real-time outdoor news from the Southwest region. This is Fox Sports Outdoors Southwest.
One of my best and earliest childhood memories happened when I was about 7 or 8, maybe as much as 9 years old. We were at my grandparents' farm just outside the town of Whitney, Texas, getting ready to go to bed one night when my uncle and my dad said, "Let's go fishing." My brother and I are like, "Let's go fishing, it's almost bedtime." But we did. We loaded the aluminum V-bottom boat up, took a Coleman lantern out at night, sat right out there and caught 65 white bass. And to this day, I remember it like it was just a few nights ago. In fact, it's one of the reasons that I'm so hooked on fishing even today. That little episode happened on the lake just behind me. Welcome everybody to Lake Whitney, Texas. It's a fantastic lake on the Brazos River system in central Texas, not too far north of Waco, Texas. We're gonna go out there and take the Nitro Z8 at night, set out some lights, and I'll show you a unique little twist on the light situation and see if we can catch a few fish, and a little bonus, we'll beat this 100-degree daytime heat as well. While we're out doing that, we're gonna be taking you around the region for your latest local fishing reports from lakes, rivers, and bays in your neck of the woods from our expert team of insider reporters. It's gonna be a lot of fun. You know, it's hard for me to believe that that little episode as a kid happened now nearly 50 years ago. My, how time flies. But those kinds of memories do last a lifetime. Right now, let's get this party started back at the FSN studios. Here's your weekend planner.
The Salunar tables are forecasting a nice opportunity for you weekend anglers. Saturday's game fish activity is listed as good, with the best time starting at 9:26 in the morning. And Sunday is listed as excellent, with peak times beginning at 10:07 a.m. Expect sunrise to take place at 6:56, with sunset happening at 8:03. And we'll have a new moon on Monday, so evenings this weekend will have very little moonlight. We'll be right back with all of the current fishing reports from around the area. And I'll return with professional angler Kevin Van Dam with some advice on plastic worm fishing. Back in a bit.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Costa Sunglasses. See what's out there. By Luz, setting a new standard in fishing performance. Feel the difference. By Strike King Lures, #1 in fishing. And by Lowrance Electronics. Find, navigate, dominate.
Got one. There we go. You never know what you've got. Welcome back, everybody. Whoa, good pull. White bass. All right, Fox Sports Outdoors coming to you on a night fishing expedition. And we've made it out. It's early in the night. And I've come out and I'm fishing under some lights. That's just an average size white bass for you. Nothing huge, but a good way to get it going. That one bit. Little Bobby Garland soft plastic bait. I'm gonna keep some fish. Don't you do that. I'm gonna keep some fish, so I'm gonna put him down right there for the moment. I wanna explain to you what we're doing here. I found something at Academy. I found some cool little submersible lights. They're 12-volt lights. They have alligator clips, and you clip them on your battery. And the cool thing about them is they're fully waterproof, and you just drop them down in the water like that, and you can see how much light the thing gives off. And you want to stay stationary, and you're going to attract the bait fish. Cool thing about fishing out here at night, especially with that little garland bait, is that you never know what you're going to catch. It's almost like saltwater fishing out here, but it's a lot of fun. It's a great way to take a kid fishing, and above all, it's a great way to get out of the heat. It was 102 today where I live. And out here tonight, it's about 80 degrees with a little breeze blowing, not even breaking a sweat. Fantastic way to fish. Drop you some submersible lights in. I'll give you a couple of more little keys about that coming up in just a minute. Hey, let's get some fishing reports started for tonight from your local lakes, rivers, and bays. And let's go to Oklahoma with Gary Dollar.
Hey, I've always been extremely complimentary of our Oklahoma Department of Wildlife because I feel like our agency is very forward-thinking in the way it deals with our hunting and fishing resources in the state. They're at it again. This time they're helping address water concerns at Canton Lake in northwestern Oklahoma. Now this is our prime walleye fishing lake in the state. It has suffered over the past several years from very little rain and runoff coming in, and Oklahoma City, who has the rights to that water, has continued to need it and draw that water down. As a result, we get to this time of year in the summer months where that water becomes hot, low oxygen, and possibly stagnated. So what the department has done is teamed with the Corps of Engineers, Oklahoma City officials, and they're experimenting with 2 solar-powered giant water circulator pumps they recently have installed in Canton Lake. Now these 2 pumps have the capability to pull water up from below, pump it out over the top to create some flow in there, and they're running as much as 10,000 gallons per minute through there to create that circulation. The hope is that this will keep that water aerated with fresh oxygen, stir up that algae from really becoming a problem in there, and hopefully alleviate having to restock that lake in the future months ahead or even the years ahead. Congratulations to you guys for a great project there. As for fishing in the state right now, the crappie bite remains extremely strong, and more important than where you're going to catch them is what you're doing to catch them. The best rig right now is a 1/16 ounce jig head rigged on a Bobby Garland baby shad swimmer, and then fishing that bait in and around the brush piles 8 to 12 to 14 feet deep. Make sure you're contacting the limbs and the stumps with that bait. You're going to catch them. Great time of year to be fishing in Oklahoma, but one thing about it, you can't catch them if you don't go.
Got him. Ooh, that's a good pull. Good pull. Look at this. Big white bass. Big one right there. Look at that big dude. Oh, whoa, and he pulled off right there. Look at that pig. Wow. That's a big white bass. That's a 1 3/4, something like that. That's about a 16-inch white, something in that range. Welcome back, everybody. Fox Sports Outdoors. Out here night fishing, reliving one of my best childhood memories. We caught a whole bunch of those one night, and it hooked me on fishing for a lifetime. Let me tell you something. All it takes is one of those little experiences to hook your kid on fishing for a lifetime. Let me give you a couple of other quick pointers. If you're going to come out here night fishing, there are some safety things that I really need to talk about. Number one, always need to keep your PFD, personal flotation device, handy, and use it every time the big motor is cranked. Very dangerous out here at night. Make sure your cell phone is charged. Make sure you got a full battery. Hopefully you can get a signal out on the lake. Number three, never go alone. Always have somebody in the boat with you, and make sure somebody knows where you're going and what time you'll be home. Really good electronics are critical out here at night like this. Come out here before it gets dark and mark your path. Leave a trail, and that way you can follow that trail. In fact, I'm going to show you on my Lowrance HDS back here, and I can know that I'll be safe and I won't hit a stump or a rock or anything like that as long as I stay on that safe trail that I made before it got dark. All right, these lights are really working well. Again, I've got them hung down now about 5 feet, but these things can go down as deep as about 10 feet, or you can put them up real shallow. You've got to experiment. One other quick thing, depth is critical at night. You've got to have the right depth. You need to experiment. Sometimes they can be down there 20 feet deep. Sometimes they can be just right under the surface. Wherever you catch one, chances are you're going to catch a bunch. So pay attention to how many pulls off your reel you're fishing vertically right underneath those lines. Let's get you some more fishing and lake reports. Let's go to Texas with Brian Hughes in freshwater and Bill Olson down on the Texas Gulf Coast.
Hi everybody, on this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by Executive Outfitters, we're here on the Brazos River because summertime is the right time for river fishing. You have both current and oxygenation that creates cooler water and a more oxygenated environment for the fish, which they really like. Now to catch bass, look at the eddy areas around rocks and lay down stumps and such. The fish will hide in the slack water, waiting for the current to bring bait and food past them. Throw upriver, retrieve your bait with the current, use a spinner bait or a trap. Those are two of my favorite river baits for bass. For catfish, find a little more slack water area like a creek or arm just off the river and throw your live baits and cut baits. And when we're talking about river fishing in Texas in the summer, don't forget the Trinity River and your big alligator gar. You'll use a half chicken, a quarter chicken, or even a whole chicken on a huge treble hook, and you'll need big surf casting catfish style rods and reels and 100 or better pound braided line for these Texas monsters. That's this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by Executive Outfitters. Now let's check in with Mr. Bill Olson. He's at the end of this river on the coast.
Hi folks, this week's report is brought to you by Port Aransas on Mustang Island, the fishing capital of Texas, where anglers enjoy pristine bays, estuaries, 18 miles of surf, and the deep blue waters of the Gulf of Mexico. Plus the local restaurants will even cook your catch come sundown. Come fish and play Texas Island style. For more information, visit portaransas.org. Well, redfish are becoming more active along the Texas coast. From Sabine southward to around Baffin Bay, it looks like the fall migration is just starting, with schools of migrating fish on the move to the Gulf, where the mature bull reds will spawn. A variety of lures including topwaters, soft plastics, and gold, copper, or black spoons are good choices for fish on the move. Now, some good trout action has been reported from the deeper grass beds of West Matagorda. A few redfish have also been mixed in. Sabine reports good specs from mid-lake southward, and particularly around the jetties as well as the clam beds. The short rigs have also been very active. Bull reds, sharks, and kingfish have kept nearshore anglers busy out of Freeport. This area's backmarsh lakes are holding fish off the intracoastal waterway. Anglers fishing croaker have done well around the grass beds along the Lydia Ann Channel, along Laguna shores down to the King Ranch shoreline. Mud Island continues to hold some good redfish. On the lower coast, South Bay and Longbar continue to provide consistent action for specks, reds, and the occasional black drum. All the Texas jetties are reporting consistent action for trout, some redfish, and Spanish mackerel. From Port Mansfield on down to Port Isabel, there have been kingfish and tarpon caught. Mangrove snapper have also been caught around the rocks. This weekend, both Saturday and Sunday have a double tide schedule of 2 high and 2 low tides each day. I'm Bill Olson, and I'll see you on the coast.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Exide AGM Marine Batteries. Starts like new, stays like new longer. By Gene LaRue and Bobby Garland Lures. With our baits, a good day of fishing is in the bag. By Motor Guide, trolling motors engineered for anglers. By Nitro Performance Fishing Boats, welcome to the big leagues. By Fort Worth Nissan, Fox Sports Outdoors is powered by Fort Worth Nissan. And by Whataburger. Get your day started at Whataburger with the new jalapeno cheddar biscuit.
Hey, welcome back everybody. There's a huge school of little bait fish flipping all around, just clouds of them around these lights. We're night fishing on Lake Whitney, but you can do this anywhere this summer. Anywhere that's got white bass or crappie, you can do this night fishing. But if you get that school of little bait fish attracted in like that, and actually if you can see them on your graph, fish will be right behind, and there's something right there. I got one. Let's see what it is. Oh, it's a white, good white. Come here, got him. Glad you're along with us, because I want to show you a little secret to this night fishing. We're keeping white bass. They make really tasty eating. A lot of people don't like white bass, but they are really good. When you fillet it, cut that little dark strip out of the side. That's that little iodine strip. That has kind of a fishy flavor to it. If you'll cut that out, white meat is left, and they're great eating. I'm going to lay right there for a second. Let me show you the little tip. Here's my tip. I haven't done this in many years. It's a minnow bucket. I stopped by and got 5 dozen shiners, minnows, crappie minnows. That one's kind of torn up, but what I'm doing is taking my Bobby Garland crappie jig, and I'm coming from the bottom up, hooking them under the bottom jaw and then through the top. That is a rig that will absolutely kill them. You can use the little Bobby Garland crappie jig, the little soft plastic. That's a baby shad. But when you get that little live minnow tipped on the back of it, and he's flipping like that, and he's putting off scent and scales in the water, oh man. But once again, you've got to stay still. When you're doing this, you want to anchor up or tie to a tree, get somewhere where you can stop, Get yourself perfectly still and allow some time for all those bait fish to be attracted to that light. Once they do that, you're gonna be in business. It's a lot of fun. All right, let's get you some more fishing and lake reports.
Hi friends, Cajun Phil here with your Fox, Louisiana fishing report. I tell you what friends, we left out of the Cajun Paradise Lodge in charter this morning. Got Captain Sean McRae, one of our guides. Captain Sean, you got a real nice young lady fishing with us today. We had a real good catch. And Hannah, how was this? This was your birthday gift.
It was fun.
But you can see friends, we didn't slaughter the fish today. We threw back a whole lot though. We probably threw back way more than we caught. But we came in with a nice mess, probably some 20, 25 speckled trout, really nice redfish. Threw back some smaller reds. We had a great time. This is what you get here at the Cajun Paradise Lodge at Charters. Remember friends, one thing for sure, email me, CajunPhil@hotmail.com. Give me a call, Cajun Phil, 337-540-5530. I'll put you in touch with Captain Sean, Captain Kevin, or some of our other guys. Real quick friends, we want to let you know that up at Caddo Lake right now, the bass fish is really good. The grass is really thick right now. You got to use something like buzz baits early in the morning. Maybe go to a lightweight slip-sinkered worm during the daytime. Toledo Bend right now, a lot of school bass going on. Rattle traps are working really well. Topwater baits are really well. It's fantastic right now. Sean, you've been doing this just about every day. Yesterday y'all came in with 45 redfish. The day before y'all had like 60 trout. It's been good.
Yes sir, it's been pretty good. Summer months, starting to get them calmer winds. Water's cleaning up. A lot of bait in the system. Really good.
Hannah, you gonna come back?
I'm gonna come back 2 times.
All right. I tell you what, friends. Till next time, this is old Cajun Phil for Sean, Hannah, and Captain Kevin saying happy fishing and may God bless you. We're gonna see you folks next week.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price, every day. By Mercury Marine, celebrating 75 years of marine excellence. By Stren Fishing Lines, the standard of dependability. And by Tracker Boats. It's more than just a boat, it's a tracker.
Welcome back everyone. It's time for the Whataburger Ask the Pro. This week's question was submitted by Sharon, who emailed, I'm new to fishing and I want to learn to use plastics. Which rig should I start with? We went to Bassmaster's all-time money winner Kevin Van Dam for some help.
You know, if you're just starting out and you're in the back of the boat, throwing plastics is a great way to catch fish. You know, a lot of times the person in the front is going to be using a faster moving power bait and catching the aggressive fish. So using something like that, you know, a finesse worm or a small jig or small Carolina rig is a great way to catch fish. If you're not used to feeling the bite with plastics, one of the advantages is you can use braided line. Braided line is the best thing there is for a beginner because it's so sensitive, it really helps you learn the feel of the difference between grass, the rocks, and the wood down there on the bottom, and that subtle bite of a bass. So try some braid, it'll really help you with those plastics.
Thank you, Kevin. If you have a question for one of the anglers, visit our website, follow the Ask the Pro link on the right side of the page, and let us know. Now let's see which viewer wins the Costa Catch of the Week.
Well, as you can see, dawn is breaking over my left shoulder, and we have fished the entire night away from sunset till almost sunrise. And we've actually wound up with a pretty good mess of white bass here. As you can see, nothing really to brag about, but some nice quality fish, all different sizes in here. We obviously didn't have time to show catching all of those on the show, but we wound up with a pretty good sack of fillets for a good night's fishing. Hey, it's time right now for this week's Costa Catch of the Week. Someone wins a free pair of sunglasses, and he is Stephen Bartlett of Arlington, Texas, showing a 14-pound striped bass he caught at Lake Texoma, and he writes to tell us that he caught it using a slab burning technique that we taught on our show. So sometimes what we show you actually works. If you would like to enter the contest and have a great chance to win a pair of Costa sunglasses of your very own, all you have to do is go to our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com. On the right-hand side of the front page is the Costa Catch of the Week box. Send us your big fish photo and you could be our next winner. And if you'd like to see all of the Costa frame and lens styles, go back to the front page of our website, click on the Costa logo, and you can see all of the frames, all of the lenses there, including all of the ones that I wear right here on our show, of course, in the daytime. Next up on the Academy Sports and Outdoors Right Stuff feature, it's all the gear you'll need to do the night fishing that we did on this episode. It begins with the Lew's American Hero rod and reel combos. Now you can get the casting combo factory matched for under $100, or the spinning combo, again, perfectly matched, cosmetically and balanced just right for under about $70. Perfect combos to do this style of fishing. Then you'll need the night light, and as we showed you, of course it's light now so it's not lit up. There's the submersible light, alligator clips, but you can just clip it onto your 12-volt battery. Next thing you'll need is a whole bunch of Bobby Garland baits, and these are baby shads and slab slayers, and we've got all different kinds, all different colors in there, but those are perfect baits to catch these white bass and crappie. And you'll need a minnow bucket, because I like to tip those with a minnow. And by the way, don't dump your bait. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service is asking everyone, when you're finished with your unused bait, whether it's minnows or whatever you're fishing with, don't dump it back anywhere in any lake that it didn't come from. So if you bought those minnows like I did, what you need to do is take them back, put them in a Ziploc bag, and dispose of them in the trash can. Don't dump them overboard. It introduces non-native species into places where they don't belong. Those are some of the components you'll need, and if you play your cards right, you can catch a few of those. I just returned from a 6-state swing across the southeastern states, all the way from Texas to South Carolina, everywhere in between. We had a great time, but one of the interesting things I noticed were a bunch of billboards for attorneys. They were advertising and wanting citizens to hire them to file lawsuits for everything from accidents to illnesses to bad product claims and everything in between. Now, not to say that there are not some legitimate claims out there and some things that do require some litigation, but for the most part, I believe that most of these claims are baseless. They're trying to get you to hire them to help you get rich quick. And you know what? It won't work. This exposes the underbelly of American citizenship. Please don't do business with these sharks, and encourage everyone else you know to stay away from them as well. I hope you enjoyed our trip to Lake Whitney in Central Texas. We wound up catching a nice mess of white bass on the show. And don't forget to watch next week's show. We'll be on Thursday night at 10:30 with the repeat airing Saturday morning at 7:30. And you can always catch the latest episode of our show 24/7 on the front page of our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com. And something new right below that, we've got a full video archive. Everything from sneak peek previews, all of this season's episodes, both Southwest, Southeast versions, last season's episodes, how-to videos, whole bunch of videos. You never have to leave our website. Hey, we'll see you next week. I'm going to go home and get some sleep. It's going to be 103 degrees right here today. I'll be in the air conditioning. Till next week, I'm Barry Stokes. Be safe. Have fun. Bye-bye, y'all.